love with all patience, and I put the money out of my mind, that's when things really started to flip and really started to change. So I got a heart transplant. The next thing I did was I started to visualize. I hope this is my water. If it's not, we'll both live. The next thing I did, close your eyes right now. Every time I walked in, you can look at me for a second. Every time I walked in to a new patient consultation, every time I walked in to do a report of findings, whether it was one person or it was a group of 10 people, it didn't matter. Every time I went out and did a dinner presentation, anytime I went out and did an employee lunch and learn kind of thing, and we do a lot of those kinds of things. Anytime I went into a church and did a church wellness program, we have a wellness program called Fit for the King. Anytime I got in front of anybody, didn't matter if it was an individual or if it was a group of people, I imagined that I had this most beautifully gift-wrapped package in my hands. Close your eyes. Right now, I want you just to visualize in your mind a package, a box, that's about 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot. And I want you to imagine, you don't have to put your hands out in front of you, but if you want to, it might be a good gesture. Why don't you put your hands right out in front of you, just both of them, palms up. Close enough, palms up, close enough together so you can hold this box in your hand. And I started to imagine that I had this box in my hand, but it wasn't just a box. Inside of it, there was a very, very precious, special gift. And that gift was the gift of life. It was the gift of chiropractic care. It was the gift of a life filled with quality, a life that was free of disease, a life that was full of no pain. It was a life where kids grew up and they didn't have to be injected with 77 different things in order to keep some new bug from getting into their system and overcoming their innate. I want you to gift wrap this package in your hands. I want you to put a package around, wrapping paper around it. I want you to imagine in your eye what the most beautiful gift wrap packages that you can imagine around that box. And then to tie it with a bow. Put some real pretty ribbon around it. Nice big bow on the top of it. And now I want you to imagine that you've got one of those in your hand. And I want you also to imagine that you've got a warehouse that's as big as you can imagine that is full of these gift wrap packages. And you've got an infinity number of them that you can give away. Now open your eyes. I want you, the next time you go in to see your next new patient, or to go do the next talk, dinner talk, or you go to do the next talk wherever you go, whoever you speak to, I don't care if it's the cashier at the grocery store, or the guy out here at the check-in desk, or the bellman, I want you to imagine that you've got this beautiful gift that you just want to give to everybody. And here's the deal. Not everybody wants it, but most people do. And if you will take that attitude, and every time you meet somebody, you take the attitude that you want to give them this gift. Listen, if you keep, is that your purse? I'll just take this. I won't take the camera. If you just imagine in your mind's eye, Jenna, that if you engage this person in a conversation and you are going to offer them this gift, they have the right to say no. They have the ability to say no. But most of them, if you're sincere and coming from a place of unconditional love, most of them will say, I want that. Most of them in here will know, like you did, that if you feel that there's a bigger game in you, God gave you that. That's an innate sense. People are not stupid. They may be confused, but in here they're not stupid. They know the truth when they hear it. Yes or no? This is the place that some of you need really to just grasp today. Billy Graham, I'm told, way back when, this guy has won more people to Christianity than any other man on the planet. I'm told his story is that one day he was sitting outside in the fall of the year when he was still a young man, and he saw a leaf fall off of a tree, and that leaf just floated down to the ground. And somehow, some way, that wouldn't maybe have meant anything to you or to me, but God spoke to him through that experience. When he saw that, he saw something much bigger. And he, at that moment, I'm told, that at that moment he decided that even though he didn't understand everything about God, that he didn't understand everything in the Bible, he just decided that he was going to accept it all of it, in full faith. Even if he didn't understand it, he was going to accept it in full faith. And I'll tell you what, that's the next thing that I did. I accepted the chiropractic principle in full faith. And I just got, excuse the French, I got ballsy enough to believe that when you give a chiropractic adjustment, that it frees the innate healing inside of somebody's body to turn on and to do what it's already designed to do. And that's to heal, to fix, to repair, and to rejuvenate the human body. And the way I explain it to my chiropractic, to my patients, and the way I like to explain it to you, just to give you just a little bit deeper handle on this thing, it's so simple that the human body has the ability to heal. And when it doesn't heal, it's because something's not working right on the inside. The human body has an amazing ability to heal itself when it's working properly. And that's exactly how I explain it. And I tell groups when I go out and talk to them, if you've got something in your body, if you've got something wrong with it, and it's not getting better, that's because the healer that's inside of you isn't working. Something's blocking it from working. And I tell the chiropractic story, and I explain to them that the spine is designed by God to be in a certain position, and when it gets out of proper position, it affects the ability for the brain to talk to the body and the body to talk to the brain. And when we put it back in alignment, and when we get your spine strong and healthy and keep it in good alignment, your body will be in a position, the best position possible to heal itself on a regular and ongoing basis. And when it does, you'll be a healthier person. And when it does, your body will be able to do all the things that it was created to do. And all we're doing chiropractic is that simple. It's that simple. You correct the subluxations, and you keep them corrected, and you let the body do its thing. You just do its thing. It's not that you're so great. It's not that chiropractic is so great. It's that the human body's ability to heal is so great, and all we're doing is releasing the ability for it to heal, or giving the healing back. The old-timers used to say that the subluxations disconnected the man, the spiritual side of man, from the physical side of man. And I absolutely believe that's true as every bit today as much as it was then. And so I sold out, and I just decided that, yeah, this guy, B.J. Palmer, and D.D. Palmer was even more mixed up, some of the things that he said, or at least that I don't understand everything that they said. I don't think I ever will. But I just decided that it is what it is. And I believed, I made up my mind that I was going to accept it in full faith, and I was going to work with it. It's the most powerful thing that we could ever do for an individual. Yes or no? Yes. And the last thing I decided was this. The last thing I decided was that chiropractic care was not a luxury. I had this thing in my mind, that not everybody came to me, but if they came to me, they would get better, they would feel better. And this is back, this was quite a few years ago. And when I had a patient that would come in, I always thought it was almost like these people. I still feel this way to some degree. That your patients and my patients right now, you don't know this. I don't know if you think about it like this, but we are still pioneers in this profession. We're still fighting a battle. I've always thought of it like we're like salmon that are swimming against the grain. We're swimming upstream. And guess what? Those salmon get pretty bloody and beat up till they get all the way up the stream, don't they? But they get there, and what do when they get there? They're all used up, right? They're all used up till they get there. But when they're there, what do? They spawn, and they spawn a whole bunch of new salmon, and a whole new generation of salmon moves on. And I've decided in chiropractic that I want to see as many patients as I can in my practice, but I also decided that the next level for me was to go out and help a whole bunch of other chiropractors to get more successful. See, my aim in life is to advance chiropractic care worldwide, globally. Now with all this social media and the internet, there is no limits. There's absolutely, if you think there are limits and there's a lack of new patients in your town, it's all between your ears. You're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. Chiropractic care is not a luxury. It's a necessity. You don't believe it? Go to the hospital. Those guys, they're screwing more people up than you can imagine.